What's up, everybody? Today we're back with another unemployment video. Now, I was asked to make a video concerning all of the it's just so much talking about the overpayments. Now, it just came to me. There was a picture I wanted to find. Someone posted on the Reddit forum where it said that there was an overpayment and then fraud next to it. And what's happening is people who are on PUA, there's PUA and then there's PEUC. So PUA is Pandemic Unemployment Assistance and PEUC is Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation, I think. Let's see, I wrote it down. Yeah, compensation. So the PEUC actually pays out more than the PUA. The PUA is generally for like gig workers and the self-employed. And the PEUC, for whatever reason, I don't know the government's calculations. They pay more. And that's kind of understandable because the PUA, for the gig workers and stuff, they generally don't qualify for unemployment. But so what's been happening is people who are on PUA, the state of Maryland was doing something weird. And I can't say just the state of Maryland because there's been other states that did this too. But they were doing something weird with their accounts. And, if they called or whatever and tried to get it sorted, the person would switch their PUA to a PEUC in the process. And then sometime after, they'll switch it back to a PUA. And it would trigger this thing saying that the person was due an overpayment. Because again, once it went from PUA to PEUC, it upped their balance. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean with my back office. Okay, so as you can see right here, it says, PUA is a program, and then it has the maximum benefit amount. But when you switch it over to the PEUC, that maximum benefit amount goes up. Now, the maximum benefit amount is not necessarily what you've been paid. It's just what you could be potentially paid, right? And so what ends up happening is it triggers this thing saying, oh, you were paid too much and now you owe us money, but it's not real because they never got the money in the first place. And it's just been a big mess. But here's the thing that's interesting about these claims. First of all, that person that had the screenshot of it, it was saying fraud. Now, if I apply for unemployment benefits and I am honest, I give you all of my paperwork, I tell you how much I made, I give you my tax returns, I tell you my name, social security number, I give you all of that information, and then you decide, well, okay, based on this, you qualify for this program, and you are to be paid this amount. And you pay me this for a year and some change, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, you know what? We messed up. We were not supposed to get all that money, and we're going to need you to pay us back. And then say fraud. You committed fraud. How did I commit fraud? You're the one that messed up, not me, and now it's my fault? Now, and we'll get to this, my sentiment is they shouldn't be taking money away from people, especially during these times. It's not like a person I saw on the forum said that they had to pay back $5,000, another person over $11,000. And, in the grand scheme of things, that helps, but it's not a life-changing amount of money to give someone, but it could be life-changing to take it back. And I just feel like, those people should be able to keep that money. That wasn't their fault. They were honest about it. And that's on the government. Now, fortunately, there is a waiver form going out now, and I'll provide a link to that form in the description box below. And if you are having this issue, you can fill out that waiver form and, hopefully you'll get your money. But I was seeing from other states that they were saying it'll be up to a year before they pay people back. And this is just a hot mess. Look, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just the facts. I think we're going to head into one of the worst recessions we've ever seen very soon. Now, with the moratoriums ending in October and just this cluster, of unemployment is just amazing. The other thing I want to say is this. How do we also know that there's a real overpayment here? See, this is where it gets interesting. Let's just say again that if most of the cases happen after the lawsuit, we're not gonna touch that. Let's just say all these things happen. Who's to say that that wasn't made up? I mean, if I was getting $800 a week, and then all of a sudden, we were giving you $300 a week too much. Like, how do I know that? How do I know what these metrics are? How do I know the government just didn't change that just to take money away from me and put me in a jam? And that's where all this stuff just gets ridiculous. And now they're like, we'll pay you back. Sorry about that. It's like, yeah, but when? When? Even with the taxes. And I made a video on this talking about how after Biden signed that order saying that we didn't have to pay taxes on the unemployment anymore, but for people who had already filed, because I was one of those people who had already filed. And it's like, well, if you were married, you're going to get that money back in the summer. Well, it's a month left of the summer season, and I haven't gotten anything. When am I going to get paid? And then the crazy part is, I tried to go to the IRS. I know I'm kind of getting off of the unemployment here, but it's just the state of the economy right now is messed up, and it's the government's fault. Yeah, I appreciate what they've done, and it's been helpful for a lot of people. But at the same time, you do these moratoriums, I almost just feel like it's a setup, knowing that most people don't manage their money well. Like, why is accounting and budgeting and investing not taught in high school, right? Most people don't know how to do this. That's why everybody's online looking up these videos from these entertainers, because that's all they got, because they're not giving y'all the real scoop on things. Entertainers who not licensed or ever done anything financial in their life, these 20-year-olds who don't know anything. But most people don't know how to manage their money. So when you say, okay, you can't evict anyone, but then right after, let's say October, so November 1st, everyone's going to owe like a year and a half's worth of rent in one lump sum. Who's going to have that? It's going to be so many evictions. Then on top of that, people are going to be losing their homes because there were also moratoriums. You only hear about the rent, only about the rent. And a lot of you probably wonder, like, how are these landlords keeping these houses? Because they got them too. Homeowners got the moratorium too. I don't think it was as long as the renters, but they got a moratorium as well, which was like for a year. And I think you could extend it for another 6 months, which brings them to maybe about, October. So everything is going to end. And everybody's going to owe these balloon payments except for some of the landlords, because it was hidden deep down in the contracts that you had the choice, the option to add it to the balance of the loan or to do a balloon payment. And if you didn't know what you were reading or what any of those terms were, because, I mean, where did you learn it? And certainly not in these public schools, right? You might have chose the wrong thing, or they might have chosen it for you, which is the balloon payment. And you're not going to have that, so you're going to foreclose. This will be worse than it was in 2008, 2009, 2010. And I don't know, y'all. Anyway, that's it. Really, I just wanted to talk about just the state of things and how this is so messed up, and looking in the future, short term too, the effect that this is going to have. And they just don't care. Or either they're incompetent. I saw somebody say something online a week or so ago, and they said that they found it funny that people age 70 to 80, even 60, really 50, really, but people who are up there in age are unhireable generally, because their mental faculties are not the same as those as a younger person. Plus, they lack the skills of a younger person. They have the experience, but again, those mental faculties can play a role in how effective it is, and they're generally unhireable, right? Yet, most of the country is ran by 70 and 80-year-olds, right? So, I don't know. Larry Hogan want to run for president. Word on the street is he's running for president in 2024. Y'all remember this. So I've dragged this on long enough. I hope this video was just informative, because that's really all it is. I don't really have any solutions. I wish I did. And I'll see you guys next time. Good luck.